Hey everybody, what is up? Fourth Seraph here, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about Call of Duty 2017. Now, not a lot is known about this game yet. However, a few days ago, some news came out that it will be boots on the ground, and everyone seemed to be really excited about that. Obviously, people aren't super hyped about the futuristic space scene that's been going on for a few years. It was kind of cool in Advanced Warfare, but people got over it pretty quickly. Really, even before Black Ops 3 came out, people were kind of over it. And especially by the time Infinite Warfare was released, people absolutely hated the idea. But is Call of Duty 2017 going to be good? No. No, it is not. And here's why. Because boots on the ground will not fix the main problem with Call of Duty. And the main problem is not that it had a futuristic scene. The main problem is that Activision refuses to listen to the community at all. They continually mess up their games. Let's go back and look at Advanced Warfare. There were a few things that were unpopular. There was the advanced movement system, the supply drops that felt like pay to win, and those were kind of the main two things that people didn't like. That were kind of the two big issues. Now, obviously, games were already in production, so they can't go back and take out the advanced movement system. Maps were made with that in mind. Game modes were made with that in mind. The game had that in mind, so you can't change it. It's too late, right? But supply drops, that is something that you can change. Now, Advanced Warfare, I don't know the exact numbers on it, but I do know that it still sold very well. Call of Duty games historically have sold very, very successfully. Infinite Warfare, not so much. However, they still made a lot of money in Infinite Warfare because of people buying supply drops in Infinite Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered. Okay, so they didn't need the supply drops in Infinite Warfare. That wasn't necessarily like their projection, where they were saying when Black Ops 3 comes out, we need to have this because that is how we'll make our money from this game. There was no necessity for it at that point. They just did it despite the community hating it to make some extra money. And this is the problem. It's not even that necessarily supply drops exist or that advanced movement exists or that the games are in the future, but it's Activision's refusal to change based on what the community wants. And here's why Call of Duty has been successful. Here is why I think it became the giant that it is today. Because honestly, everyone knows Call of Duty. It's probably one of the most well-known games to just the general population, right? Everyone's played Call of Duty at some point. Everyone knows about it. Probably next to World of Warcraft, it's like the most known name in video games. It is a giant of this genre. And the reason is, I think for most of that success is not just that it started out as amazing games and it was revolutionary. One thing that Call of Duty has done very well is a pro scene. They made a game that could be played on a professional level. And what that did is it made the game more balanced because they got all the people who were the best together in one place and from there saw what needed to be changed and fixed and innovated and introduced into the game. And it gives them an audience and people feel more invested in the game. Most of the most successful games have done this. This is why it's really important for Blizzard to get their Overwatch League right, and why it was so important for them to get their competitive mode right, which they're still kind of working on, because that's what will make a game long-lasting. That's what really makes something successful. That's why League of Legends is so successful, because it has a pro scene that is done so well. It's such a good game to play on the pro level, and that benefits every level of play. Because honestly, like, are pubs that interesting forever, for the whole year? No, not really. People end up playing game battles, doing all this different stuff. And that's been one thing that has been Call of Duty's biggest reason that it is so successful. And honestly, Activision has forgotten that. And they just keep introducing stupid things. Do you remember the pizza shooter that they had in Black Ops 3 that shoots like the freaking metal discs out? That was ridiculous and stupid. And the overpowered shotgun pistol and all of the stupid weapons that they had in that game. None of them were used in the pro scene. So many guns were banned in the pro scene. And guns kind of, certain ones always are if they're unfair or whatever. I'm all for that. But it's just ridiculous that basically the pro scene has to take half the content out of the game because it's so unplayable at that level. And that's the problem, is that Activision just, they're so consumed by the idea of making extra money, and they've so committed to this course that I am telling you, supply drops will be worse in the next Call of Duty, because this Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare, did not sell well. And so what they are looking at right now is there's a bunch of idiots in a boardroom looking over numbers, and they're saying, how do we still make a lot of money? Sales are down, so we need to make it up somewhere else. So we need more pay to win, more supply drops, more DLC to make up our loss in profits. I promise you, they are not looking at the numbers and saying, you know what, we need to make a better game. We need to make a game that people are going to like more. And that's how we'll make the sales. Because that is just the obvious thing to do. And for some reason, when people get to that level in a company, they just become absolutely brain dead, apparently. And I promise you, they are going to have so much DLC, pay-to-win, supply drop garbage in the next Call of Duty that it is going to be ridiculous. I cannot even play Infinite Warfare because it is, in my opinion, such a terrible game. When games like Overwatch exist, I don't know why there's a single person playing Infinite Warfare. If you like it, cool, you're entitled to that opinion. But for me, it's unplayable. I do play a little bit of Modern Warfare Remastered and want to play more, but honestly, if they're willing to introduce supply drops into that game, after Raven Studios promised that that wouldn't happen, I don't think Raven wanted to introduce it. I think Raven meant to keep that promise. And I think Activision saw that they needed to make more money, and they were like, the best way for us to do this is not to make better games, to fix the problems in Infinite Warfare, sell stuff to the people playing Modern Warfare Remastered, because they'll buy it, so we need to start selling more DLC to them, and that's how it's going to happen in the next game. It doesn't matter if they remake a game, it doesn't matter if it's boots on the ground, it doesn't matter, guys. I am telling you, the next Call of Duty will have all the same problems that this one has. It doesn't matter if it's boots on the ground, because that is not the thing that will make it better. People will still be running around in ridiculous costumes, with ridiculous guns, doing ridiculous things, whether it's boots on the ground or you have a little jetpack, because that, to me, really isn't a problem. Is it as good, like with the advanced movement system as boots on the ground? No, but that's such a small problem. I mean, come on, like, they don't even care. Like, I don't even know if the leaderboards are up yet. Like, I just hear people complaining about that all the time. Something that is so basic, they don't even care to make that, because Infinity Ward is just having to constantly make new content, new guns, new camos, new outfits, new stuff to sell to people that they can't even fix the problems with their own game. That is how messed up Call of Duty is. And I know everyone was talking about how Infinite Warfare might be the COD apocalypse, and I don't think it was, but it might be the start of it. Modern Warfare Remastered supply drops might be the start of it. And we might just see Call of Duty continue to trend downhill and downhill and downhill until somebody in the office remembers what got them successful in the first place, and that is making a good game, not just trying to make money. Because you can make money doing a lot of crap, but eventually people stop paying for crap when they can get something better. And that's what's going to happen. So many of the people I play Overwatch with all switched from Call of Duty. That'll continue to happen as other great shooters come out. When, like, people can play Battlefield 1, Rainbow Six, Overwatch. Call of Duty has so much competition right now that they can't afford to do this, and I don't think many people will buy the next one if they don't fix all the problems that they have with this one and start trying to make great games again. But anyways, guys, that is all I have for you today. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you're buying anything off Amazon, use my links down there. And until next time, I will see you guys online.